I think you feel better about yourself when you say what needs to be said at the time it needs to be said and not afterwards where you go home and think, I should have said that. You have to fight and say what you feel and let the chips fall where they may. What makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off.
So here's the scoop. Ice Cube just dropped some truth bombs about Jay-Z's tight relationship with R. Kelly, and it's got people talking. In an interview, Ice Cube got real about how he sees Jay-Z's connection to the controversial R&B singer. Let's dive into what Cube had to say about this disturbingly close bond.
Z's up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories.
Ice Cube just spilled the tea on why Jay-Z was cozying up to the likes of R. Kelly. And let me tell you, it's a doozy. You might want to grab a seat for this bombshell because what Cube dropped is bound to leave you shook. Seems like Jay-Z might be heading down a rocky road similar to Diddy's, and trust me, we've only scratched the surface. So, here's the lowdown straight from Ice Cube. Jay-Z, Puffy, and R. Kelly were all part of this shady crew that did some seriously messed up stuff, covering each other's tracks along the way. Rumor has it Jay only cut ties with them when it hit the fan because he was sweating bullets about his own involvement. But now that R. Kelly's behind bars and Diddy's facing lawsuits left and right, the spotlight's turning on Jay-Z. The burning question, why was Jay rolling so deep with R. Kelly from the get-go? And what skeletons is he desperate to keep buried?
Yeah, they are, very close to, if they haven't already crossed the line with that. And I think it should be looked into what they're doing to the Big Three.
Looks like the heat is on for Jay-Z, courtesy of Ice Cube dropping some major bombshells about the tangled web between Jay and R. Kelly. Word on the street is Ice Cube's got the goods that could spell game over for Jay's career, maybe even land him in some serious hot water. Sources whisper that Cube spilled the beans to the authorities aiming to take down Jay-Z and Diddy. And it's some seriously murky territory they're wading into. Jay-Z's been under the microscope lately, especially with all the chaos surrounding Diddy. There's a buzz that he might be the next big name to take a tumble. YouTuber Storm Monroe even dropped a bombshell claiming he's got the inside scoop. According to Storm, Jay's gearing up to face a storm of lawsuits reminiscent of Diddy's once the dust settles on Diddy's legal mess. And here's the kicker. Whispers suggest there are forces at play behind the scenes, pulling strings to ensure Diddy's downfall drags Jay-Z down with it.
Once they're done with Diddy, right? And this is going to be going on for some time, but once, I guess you can say the public humiliation, basically after the major documentaries come out, right? After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
YouTuber Storm Monroe further said,
Jay-Z, over the course of his career, and I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Now, it's tough to say how much of that is legit or when Jay-Z's time in the spotlight will come, but folks are already digging up old dirt on him, stuff from back in the day that could spell trouble. A lot of it circles back to his alleged antics with Diddy and R. Kelly back in the day. Back in the day, Jay-Z didn't exactly skyrocket to success as a young artist like many of his peers did. Meanwhile, R. Kelly was already a big name in mainstream R&B during the early 1990s, and Diddy was making moves at one of the most influential record labels. Eventually, their paths crossed in various settings, leading Jay to collaborate with them on various artistic ventures. Jay-Z and R. Kelly were tight, both in and out of the studio. They hit the same parties, shopped at the same spots, even dated some of the same people. So when R. Kelly's disturbing behavior came to light, folks started connecting the dots. There's been speculation that Jay was in the know about R. Kelly's misconduct with young girls, and not only turned a blind eye, but possibly even played a part in covering it up, or worse, being involved himself. Let's talk Aaliyah for a sec. Back in '91, when she first crossed paths with R. Kelly, she was just 12. But by '94, she dropped her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And here's the kicker. It was entirely penned and produced by R. Kelly. Now, despite the controversy surrounding him, that album remains a classic, with timeless tracks like Back and Forth and At Your Best, You Are Love. Aaliyah reportedly developed an intimate relationship with Kelly during the recording of her debut album. She told Vibe magazine in 1994 that she and Kelly would go watch a movie and go eat when she got tired and would then come back and work. She described the relationship between her and Kelly as rather close. In December 1994, Aaliyah told the Chicago Sun-Times that whenever she was asked about being married to Kelly, she urged them not to believe all that mess and that she and Kelly were close and people took it the wrong way. However, one of the underlying messages from that album seemed to suggest that love knows no bounds, regardless of age. With the release of Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, rumors circulated about a relationship between Aaliyah and R. Kelly, including the allegation that they had secretly married without her parents' knowledge. Vibe magazine later revealed a marriage certificate that listed the couple married on August 31, 1994, in Sheraton Gateway Suites in Rosemont, Illinois. Aaliyah, who was 15 at the time, was listed as 18 on the certificate. R. Kelly was 27. The marriage was annulled by her parents in February 1995, but the pair denied the allegations, saying that neither was married and that the certificate was a forgery. R. Kelly allegedly found out she was pregnant, and Kelly was already 27 at this point. Was she really pregnant? Whatever happened to the pregnancy, we'll probably never know. What we do know is that the marriage was annulled in 1995 because, of course, Aaliyah was not old enough to legally enter a marriage. Although Aaliyah's case was the most publicized, dozens of other women and girls have since come forward with stories of how they survived R. Kelly's interest in teenage girls. When R. Kelly was later convicted and sentenced to jail in 2021, many people wondered how he could have gotten away with his actions for so long without anyone calling him out. Well, it was all thanks to individuals who knew what he was up to and chose to look the other way, and even those who actively participated in his misconduct, like Jay-Z. In a recently resurfaced interview, Nas discussed this issue with Wendy Williams on her former 107.5 FM radio show. "That's not my style," Illmatic MC said on Williams's former 107.5 FM radio show. "I could have shown the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about and made fun of it and show pictures of Jay hanging out. You can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come into the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. You gonna tell me he didn't see no 14-year-old girl come into the vicinity? You've seen it go down. I've been around R. Kelly. I've been on tours with him. I didn't see no 14-year-old, but I talked to the man and see there's a little problem there. The brother needs help and I pray for him. I'm here for the people. I'm here to talk about the truth." According to Nas, Jay-Z was aware of R. Kelly's disturbing interest in young girls, but continued to collaborate with him nonetheless.
I said, that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. Yeah, I could have put up movies. I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and said, yo, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and them was in there doing Basketball Boys, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you want to sit here and tell me that they're working on that album, that he ain't never seen a 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
But wait, there's more. If you thought that was the end of the story, prepare to be surprised. Even after knowing everything R. Kelly did to Aaliyah, Jay-Z still pursued her romantically. He attempted to date her while she was in a relationship with his friend Dame Dash. Jay went all out, sending her flowers, trying to court her, and going on dates with her. However, Aaliyah made it clear she wasn't interested in him that way, but Jay couldn't handle the rejection. So he resorted to trying to sabotage Dame's career. This betrayal was especially painful for Dame because he and Jay had been close for years. Back when Jay was struggling as an artist, Dame had supported him, investing his time and resources to co-found Rockefeller Records. This partnership gave Jay the leverage to secure a distribution deal with Def Jam in 1997, launching his career with collaborations with big names like Diddy, Ski, and DJ Premier. However, tensions began to rise between Dame Dash and Jay-Z due to Jay's pursuit of Aaliyah. Jay started excluding Dame from important decisions and business moves, prioritizing his own interests. Jaguar Wright once spoke out about how Jay treated Dame unfairly because of his selfish desires.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't you wanted to get away from your homie if you wanted to get away from your partner, but to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he a girl that didn't want you.
But here's where it gets even worse. In February 2002, infamous footage surfaced, allegedly showing R. Kelly engaging in inappropriate behavior with a girl who was later revealed to be under 18. A few months later, R. Kelly was arrested and indicted on 21 counts related to child pornography. When police searched his Florida residence, they discovered images and a videotape featuring young girls in compromising situations with R. Kelly. Despite vehemently denying the charges, R. Kelly saw them dropped in 2004, but we all know how that ended. Shockingly, even with all this damning evidence against R. Kelly, Jay-Z didn't distance himself or call him out. Instead, in the same year, 2002, Jay collaborated with R. Kelly on the album The Best of Both Worlds. They even planned a tour together for that year, though it had to be postponed until 2004 due to R. Kelly's legal troubles. Never mind that in the midst of all this, Aaliyah lost her life in that tragic plane crash.
I was like, bro, you know our homie violated, and he violated my girl. He violated a friend of us. So, you know, when he moved forward with that, like me, I was like, yo, let's go! I was like, yo, I don't want no parts of that. Put my part of that to Aaliyah's breast cancer thing, you know? But then it was around the time when Jay was acting like he didn't want to really continue and move.
Fast forward to 2004, and Jay and R. Kelly had not only recorded, but also released another album titled Unfinished Business. They finally embarked on their tour, where Jay seemed to have a grand time singing and dancing alongside his unsettling best friend. This left Dame feeling deeply betrayed and heartbroken, considering Jay was like a brother to him. Jay was well aware of Aaliyah's troubling experience with R. Kelly and knew that Dame had made every effort to keep his distance from him, respecting Aaliyah's wishes to avoid any confrontation.
And when she was even trying to talk about it, she couldn't.
Yeah.
And I remember Aaliyah trying to talk about it, and she couldn't. You know, she just would leave it at that dude was a bad man. And I didn't really want to know what he did.
But did Jay-Z remain loyal to the friend who had stood by him through thick and thin? No. Instead, he publicly aligned himself with R. Kelly, who would later be sentenced to 30 years in prison. Jay and R. Kelly eventually had a falling out, with R. Kelly even allegedly fearing for his life because of Jay. R. Kelly's former cellmate, Ronnie Bo, later revealed how R. Kelly was in prison, discussing Jay's jealousy and alleged attempts to harm him.
Like days before the event, he was getting death threats that he felt like was coming from Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was trying to basically, it may sound outrageous, but he felt like Jay-Z wanted to get him killed for whatever reason. I don't know if it could have been some Illuminati sacrifice type shit. I don't know. He don't know. You know what I mean?
But what's crucial to understand in all of this is that Jay-Z didn't cut ties with R. Kelly because of the despicable and criminal acts R. Kelly committed. Instead, their rift stemmed from R. Kelly's unprofessional behavior around the time they planned to tour together. R. Kelly would show up late or not at all for rehearsals, displayed paranoia, and incessantly complained about everything. According to insiders, Jay-Z's attempt to maintain ties with R. Kelly despite his actions stemmed from fear. Jay feared that R. Kelly might implicate him in his crimes as he faced consequences. However, instead of safeguarding him, Jay's association with R. Kelly only cast suspicion on him, prompting speculation about what he might have known. Now, there's talk that Jay has taken a lesson from his experience with R. Kelly, and that's why he's giving Diddy the cold shoulder. Diddy and Jay-Z have a long-standing friendship, often seen hanging out together. Rumors even suggest that Jay and Beyoncé have attended many of Diddy's notorious parties. In fact, Diddy recently mentioned that only 2 people are allowed to call him by his real name, Jay-Z and his mother.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay.
He proudly displays a picture of himself and Jay on his website, highlighting their bond. Despite this, Jay appeared content while putting together a video montage for Diddy's Lifetime Achievement Award, and he consistently invites his BFF Diddy to his annual Roc Nation parties. Speaking of which, there was no Roc Nation brunch this year, with sources suggesting that Jay scrapped the event entirely to avoid any awkwardness of not inviting Diddy. But why would Jay suddenly be avoiding Diddy now? Some speculate it's because Jay is known for his aversion to unsavory characters, and perhaps he's distancing himself from Diddy for similar reasons. Well, allegedly, it's because unlike R. Kelly and Diddy actually has evidence of Jay-Z participating in some really creepy things, it's not so difficult to see how that might be, because we all know how Jay has a preference for younger girls' bonus points if they were in their mid-teenage years. Take Foxy Brown, for example. Jay-Z came under a lot of heat when it was revealed that Foxy was only 15 years old at the time Jay-Z was allegedly dating her by promising her a successful career in Hollywood. Sources also claimed that Jay paid Foxy a lot of money to keep quiet about the whole thing, and that she's allegedly still on his payroll to this day. Jay even referred to it in his song Picasso Baby, but when she was asked about it, Foxy tried to avoid the question, saying she and Jay were supposed to laugh at it because that came with being famous. Was I shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music. We know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people began to say my age. The age thing. She was 15, 14. After a while, that gets to a person. The fact that he felt he needed to say that means something struck a chord, she added. However, Dame Dash later confirmed the entire situation in an interview, during which he became noticeably defensive when questioned about it.
At what age was Foxy Brown signed?
I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown.
But that's...
I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I know you did. I'm just asking a question.
I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody.
You the boss.
Yo, don't beat around the bush. Say what you want
I'm
to say.
just asking.
What do you mean by that?
People admired Damon Dash's reaction, with one individual commenting, "This why I like Dame, save the goofy shit and ask direct questions," and called his intention out LOL. Supposedly, during that time, one of the girls Jay was involved with, named Wanda, gave birth to a child. Allegedly, Jay was 22 at the time, while Wanda was just 16. That child, now an adult named Rymir Satterthwaite, has been attempting to compel Jay to undergo a paternity test, but Jay has been evading him.
Tell me she went in there and filed a paternity test, and it just, basically I can say it was a whole lot of running around with that case. It was a whole lot of things that wasn't, what can I say, we didn't have enough information to push the case.
People expressed discontent with Jay-Z's response, with one individual writing, "That's his son. Jay should be ashamed of himself. As his wife, Beyonce should be pushing him to do the right thing." During an interview, Wanda's godmother, Lily, stated, "I got a call from his in-house lawyer and they were very helpful, and we thought we would resolve this privately. They even talked about Rymir's music talent and whether it was a good time to put him on his record label, but he had to finish high school, so I said no." Suddenly, different lawyers got involved and their attitude completely changed. I think they realized there was more at stake for Sean, given that Wanda was allegedly underage. Even with his wife Beyonce, there have been rumors that Jay-Z began dating her when she was much younger, despite their claims that they only started dating when she was 19. Jay-Z himself inadvertently hinted at this in an interview, implying he had met Beyonce when she was around 15 or 16. What's astonishing is that Beyonce had minimal experience with men before Jay-Z. She dedicated herself to her career from a young age, and her parents were quite strict, so she had only one previous boyfriend, which was not a serious relationship. Her next relationship was with a man 12 years her senior, who pursued her because his first choice did not reciprocate his feelings. Aaliyah was the one who initially caught Jay's eye, but as y'all know, that didn't work out because she was in love with Dame. Allegedly, Jay-Z was seeking a talented and beautiful R&B girl to make his queen and build a power couple with. When Aaliyah didn't work out, he turned his attention to Beyoncé. There have also been rumors suggesting that Aaliyah's death was a sacrifice to elevate certain individuals in the industry. Reports from the incident indicated she didn't even want to board the plane and that she was given a sedative by someone on her team and carried onto it while unconscious. All the details from that incident suggest a setup. Well, according to Ice Cube, Jay-Z is not above sacrificing others to propel himself or his woman forward in the industry. He once went on a rant discussing the club of gatekeepers that destroys people's careers when they refuse to play the game.
Is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with.
So what you can be certain of is that all the information Ice Cube has on Jay's dubious activities will not stay hidden for much longer. If Ice Cube's recent interviews are anything to go by, he's on a mission to expose the dirt in the industry, one piece at a time. But do y'all think Jay-Z leveraged his friendship with R. Kelly to gain access to young girls he shouldn't have been involved with? That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.